John in the NBC newsroom in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, we may be approaching a fateful hour. All night long, bulletins have been pouring in from Berlin, claiming that D-Day is here, claiming that the invasion of Western Europe has begun. Let me read you several of the latest.
That little short story, directed and produced and edited by myself. That's an example of my digital footprint. Hi there, my name is Stephen Malife. I'm a BSc Computer Science student, first year at the University of Pretoria, and I'm talking to you today about a digital footprint. I'll further elaborate on what that is and why it's important in a few moments. But first, I'd like to just give you a bit of context, an introduction. We're just gonna act like this is still the first take. Now, let me paint you a picture. 10,000 years ago, the world looked very different. There were no cell phones, no Instagram reels to share, just plain old word of mouth. The only way you knew what was going on around you is if you walked into town, sat down, opened your ears, and just happened to listen to the murmurs that floated around. The only footprints you left were the ones on the ground. And now, in this day and age, when we talk about digital footprint, what do we even mean? To really dive into that, we need to take a step back. What is a footprint? According to the Oxford Dictionary, a footprint is the impression left by a foot or shoe on the ground or a surface. Okay? The key word here that we need to focus on is left. Left. What do we mean by left? It means a trace of where you have passed that someone can follow and trace back to you. Now, back in those days, the footprints were simply washed away by the dinosaurs that walked around. That's obviously a joke. Please laugh. However, in this modern day and age, when we refer to a digital footprint, what we mean is all your activities being recorded on the internet, whether it's an Instagram post, a TikTok video you post, a comment you make on a YouTube video, or a tweet you post on X. These things don't just vanish after some time. A trace is left, and that is your digital footprint. Now, depending on who you ask, this is either a good or a bad thing. The reason why this topic is so relevant is because in our ever so connected world, all of a sudden, what you say has weight to it. And unlike in the past, where to connect to thousands of people, you needed to be a celebrity, a political leader, or a journalist. It's now easier than ever for any random person to be able to broadcast their opinions, their lifestyle, or various other topics to thousands of people just by a click of a button. Now, I know this isn't a mic, but anyway. Now, what does this lead us to, you may be wondering? The reason why this is so scary is because all of a sudden, the things you say online or do can have lasting effects to your career or life. It may affect your employment opportunities, how people perceive you, and the people most in danger are the younger generation who don't fully grasp that your actions have consequences. Now, I'm all sure you've heard stories about various people that have stated things online and led to various disciplinary actions. These things are important because unlike footprints that are left in the physical world, your digital footprint doesn't disappear whether you like it or not. That's why it's very important to know and understand what you're posting online. To elaborate my point, I've created a mini case study for you to judge the difference between a good digital footprint and a bad one. And at the end, we will conclude what it truly means to have a digital footprint. To further elaborate, I have a best friend. His name is Andile, and he wants to become a musical artist. His artist name is Eccentrico. Here's some of his work.
I write music mainly when I'm going through stuff. I think, with the type of person that I am, I always have, in the way that I deal with things, there's lots of built up emotion sometimes.
Andile posts online his journey, his work process, and what he believes it takes to become a musical artist. This is his image, this is his brand, this is what he's showing to the world. Whether you like it or not, he is expressing himself in a positive manner, and you can't hate or scorn him for that. This is an example of what a good digital footprint should look like, at least. It's someone trying to uplift himself and the people around him. Now, let's take a look at what a bad digital footprint looks like. Consider Kanye West, a record-breaking record producer born in Atlanta, Georgia, America. Kanye West is a controversial, polarizing person who posts stuff like this. This post right here has caused turmoil and is one of many posts that have ruined his career, most would say. Although he's still living, he has the benefit of being already rich and a celebrity, so there's only so much that can happen to him. Now imagine just a regular person who's made a blunder like this trying to get a job. It's going to be very difficult. In fact, it'll probably look something like this.
Imagine Joe is walking into a job interview and his employer brings up his social media history. Joe posts derogatory, inappropriate things on the daily. What do you think his employer is going to think about him? Not much.
At the end of the day, your digital footprint your digital footprint is like a shadow. Whether you notice it or not, it can be dangerous. One careless post can live longer than most houseplants and come back to haunt you. But it's also one of the most powerful tools we have today to share our ideas, connect with people, and leave our mark. The trick is to own it. Post with purpose, share what matters to you, and build a footprint you are proud of. Because every photo, video, or comment is a brushstroke in the portrait of who you are online. So make yours worth hanging in a gallery. Thank you.